and welcome to Zangela Rising.
Welcome to part 2 of how Angela and I found a way to get better sleep without getting separate bedrooms. If you haven't seen part 1, where Angela and I discuss our mutual hatred for my snoring, then click the card that just popped up on the screen. The first step toward officially being diagnosed with sleep apnea was discussing all of the symptoms I described in the first video with my doctor. I was immediately written a referral to go through the process of getting tested for sleep apnea, and I was scheduled for an introductory class. When I went to the first class, I remember entering the room and immediately noticing people of all different sizes and ages. I thought only heavy people were prone to sleep apnea, so I was a little taken aback. I soon learned that the most common cause of sleep apnea is being overweight. However, several other people also get sleep apnea due to their genetics. I discovered in this class that sleep apnea happens when somebody consistently stops breathing due to a narrowing of the throat. This narrowing happens because soft tissue of the throat and tongue muscles are more relaxed and basically fall in on each other, blocking air from getting to the lungs. Excessive blocking of the airway causes a lack of oxygen to get to vital organs, which prevents the body from getting the necessary rest to work properly. The body works harder to overcome the obstructed airway, resulting in the excessive snoring that is associated with sleep apnea. The snoring that was driving Angela crazy. Next, I was scheduled to do a test that would monitor my breathing and oxygen levels with several little sensors. In the end, the test would determine my AHI, or Apnea-Hypopnea Index. Alright, so everything's put on there, and now I am ready to sleep. Look, I've even got this thing. I feel like I'm a cybernetic guy. It is normal to have an AHI of 0 to 4 every hour that you sleep. An AHI event is counted when your breathing pauses for 10 seconds. Basically, if you have an AHI apnea event of 5 to 29 times per hour, then you have light to moderate sleep apnea. If you have 30 or more AHI events per hour, then you have severe sleep apnea. When I got my results back, I had to do a double take. I averaged an AHI of 93 apnea events per hour. That means I stopped breathing for 10 seconds at a time, an average of 93 times per hour. That's 3 times every 2 minutes. No wonder I was so tired. My body was fighting to stay alive every night.
Oh, I wasn't shocked when Zach got his results back from the doctor and the number was really high. I knew he had sleep apnea. I was already convinced
I was
of it.
instantly scheduled for a 3-night trial to see if the CPAP machine would help with my extreme sleep apnea.
When Zach brought home that machine to try out, it was really an anxious time for me because I knew that the end was near, that we were going to be able to get some sleep again, that our relationship would improve, that I would not be so short-tempered, that I would have a sense of humor again. I was really looking forward to some positive changes.
The first night was really difficult because I had this weird apparatus on my face blasting a steady stream of air in my nose, almost making me feel like I couldn't take deep enough breaths. Honestly, I felt a little claustrophobic with the mask on.
So basically, I am sleeping next to like a bionic elephant because he's got like this thing that goes over his nose with like a long tube.
In the middle of that first night, I finally was able to get a few hours of sleep. Let me tell you, those were 3 of the best hours of rest I've ever had. When I woke up, though, I couldn't get the mask off fast enough. By night 3, I was completely used to the CPAP machine and the mask so much that I got a full 6 hours of sleep without waking up once. This is after 3 or so years of waking up about every half hour through the night. The results of this second test came back surprisingly fast. I was now averaging 5 events per hour. From 93 to 5 events per hour? You have got to be kidding me. Unfortunately, I wouldn't get my own machine for another week due to a back order. That week off the machine felt so horrible because I now knew what I was missing. I actually dreaded sleeping the week that I didn't have the machine, and Angela said I snored louder than ever.
Even though our healthcare providers really sped him through this process, it still felt like forever in between the 3 day trial where we got our first good night's sleep in a long time, and him actually getting his own apnea machine.
In part 3 of this journey to better sleep, we will explain how the machine works, some cool apps that have made sleeping almost like a game, and if the CPAP machine stopped my snoring altogether.
Now that he has it, it's just, I feel such an improvement in myself, but more importantly, I see such an improvement in his health, in his general attitude, in his demeanor, in the amount of complaining that he does about how he feels physically. So that's been really exciting, and I know that there's better feelings to come. Thanks for watching. I'm so grateful for the good night's sleep that Zach and I are both getting now. If you or someone you love suspects that you might have sleep apnea, call your healthcare provider and get tested. It's not a difficult test, and it's well worth your time. Please like, subscribe, and share this video. Thanks. Sometimes at night I look over at Zach and I say Darth Vader quotes to him when he's sleeping with his mask on. Because the sound is just incredible when there's an air leak.